of your sits bones are nice and grounded, and then gaze over your back shoulder. Okay. Square your shoulders back to the center, reach both arms up, and then now we twist over to the left. Think, sit really tall in your spine. Check in, are both hips grounded? And then rotate your chin over to the side or over your back shoulder. Come back to center with both hands up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, let's do that again in a gentle flow. Inhale, circle your arms up. We twist over to the right. Return to center, mountain the arms over to the left. Return to center. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, last time through that. Inhale, circle the arms up. Twist to the right. Meet back at center. We twist to the left. Meet at center. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your hands by your side, and then we'll slowly roll down onto our back. Take your time, meet on the back, on your back. And from here, extend your legs long, like we'll start in a Shavasana pose. Yeah. But we'll make it an active Shavasana. Right away, flex your toes up towards the ceiling, like you're stamping towards the short edge of your mat. And then your palms will rotate in towards your thighs, pinkies on the mat. Roll your shoulders down. So you have a little lift of the heart. And then we're going to use our muscles here. Pull your lower rib cage down. Feel that activation at your core. Thank you. So as we move to really knit down through your bottom rib cage, hug in at your torso. Okay, keep staying as is, just the arms will reach up. Okay. And as the arms reach up, notice if your rib cage starts to expand, think, pull the bottom rib cage down towards your hips. Option to extend the arms up overhead as another core challenge. And then bring your hands, lower your hands back by your side. Nice. All right, now place your hands on your thighs, tops of your legs. We'll keep the right hand on the right thigh, and then bend the left, lift the left knee up. Just bring the left knee over the left hip, and then use your hands to help adjust the hips. Keep them nice and equal. Oftentimes, the left hip might rise up, so just use your left hand. Maybe nudge the left thigh bone down a tad. And then when you're ready, release the hands up overhead, palms face towards one another, right over your chest. You can stay here. Option to flip the right heel a little bit. Just hover over the mat. Hug your navel down. Knit your rib cage in. Feel the activation at your center. Hold for 3. A little more core work for 2. And then exhale, release legs and hands down towards the mat. We'll reset with the breath in and out. Place your hands back on your thighs. Flex your toes up. And then bend your right knee. So the right knee is just right over the right hip. And then use your hands here to help square off the hips. Your left outer hip rolls down. You drop your right outer hip towards the short edge of your mat. When you're ready, option to extend your hands up to the ceiling. Pause here to notice any changes at your core, your center. Option to elevate the left heel now. Hug everything in, hold for 3. Be with it here for 2. And 1, slowly lower everything to the mat. Inhale. Exhale. All right, from here, hug your knees into your chest. Give it a nice squeeze. Maybe make some circles to one side. Massage out the lower back. Then reverse the direction of your circle. Plant your feet down to the long edges of your mat and sway your shins side to side. Find a little movement in the hips. Hands can stay by your side, maybe palms down to help stabilize. And then the next time that the shins fall to the left, hold it there. We find a twist. You can keep your gaze up at the ceiling or maybe over the opposite shoulder. Bring everything back to center. Now shins fall to the right. Take a moment to land your legs, and then gaze can stay upward or over the left shoulder. Make your way back to center, and then walk your feet in so their big toes are touching and your inner thighs are connected. It's like a really narrow stance for bridge. All right. And then from here, shins fall to the left now. Supine twist again. And then go ahead and bring your top leg so that both knees are touching and the knees are stacked. Your gaze can be up or over the opposite shoulder. Just notice how it feels in your side body. Start to land back on your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, shins fall to the opposite side. Yeah. And take a moment, adjust the top leg so that both knees are stacked. And drop the top hip away from your chest to elongate the side body. All right, now land back on your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. And then tee or cactus out your arms once more, right? Pull your knees up and closer towards your chest. And then over to the left. Bring your knees close to the armpit in this twist. Good. Really lift them up and over. Good. Knees are closer to the armpit in the supine twist. Rotate your gaze wherever is comfortable. Let's notice how this twist feels where your legs are landing. Come back onto the mat. And again, knee into chest, circle it over to the right armpit this time, and then let it land on that side. Work to land both shoulders on the mat. Breathe here. All right, team, come back to center. Hug your knees. Take any movements that you need, whether it's circles or maybe you start to rock and roll on the length of your spine. We'll meet in a tabletop. When you're ready, press up, take a few rock and rolls. And then we'll land shoulders over wrists. Walk your knees back so they're right underneath your hips. Really spread your fingertips wide. Invite in the cow pose when you're ready. Do you drop your belly, pull your heart upward? Yeah. Exhale, cat pose. Claw through your fingertips, gaze towards your thighs. Inhale, cow pose. Get the pulling your wrists and shins towards one another. Exhale for your cat. Press your fingertips and shins away. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Notice how you're utilizing the surface, the ground underneath you. All right, let's take the next few on your own. You can continue the cat cows, maybe invite in some barrel rolls as you rotate through your torso. Just another 4 count. Take anything that feels good in your body. Then in 3, we'll come back to tabletop to add on together. In 2 and 1, let's come back to your tabletop position. From here, rotate your wrists over to the side, rotate to the long edges of your mat. Yes. And then shift over to one side and then the other. Just invite in some stretch for your wrists, side to side. Gently land back at center. Okay, now rotate your fingertips forward once more. From here, extend your right leg behind you. Press all 5 toes into the mat. Good. And especially the right pinky toe. Notice how that elevates the right hip right away. And then let's start to find your shift forward and back. You should feel a lot of sensation in the right calf here. Just for 3, we'll hold it back in 2 and 1 for a round of breath in and out. All right, get a little lighter in the toes. Walk it to the opposite side. of your mat over to the opposite long edge. Okay. And then from here, gaze over your left shoulder as you look towards your toes. You feel a nice stretch. You can gaze over to the side or maybe look further behind you as you bump your right hip over to the side. Bring your gaze back to center and then bring your right shin back to the mat. Go ahead and pattern out your feet just to get some movement. And then when you're ready, extend your left toes behind you. Take a moment to really spread your left toes nice and wide. Press into your left pinky toe. Hello, it's awake. Notice how it shifts your hips. And then now we add the forward and backward seesaw. On the next one, hold your left heel behind you. You should feel that sensation in the back of your left heel. Shift slightly forward and then walk your toes over to the right long edge of your mat. Okay, continue to plant the toes down. Pull your hips over to the left and then gaze over your right shoulder. You can work your chin close to the right shoulder or maybe send your gaze further towards the back toes. Start to walk your gaze forward. Bring your left shin back to the mat. Go ahead and pat out your feet. Maybe sway the hips side to side. When you're ready, come back to your tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Find downward facing dog. Send your hips back. The, you'll land about hip width distance apart rather. Keep your fingertips rotated forward and you press more into the knuckles of your pointer and your thumb. And round your pinky, but roll the pointer and thumb down. And then let's all together lift up onto your toes. Heels are lifted. Bend your knees deeply here so that your rib cage or belly is touching your thighs. Again, let's hold it. Find that length as you send your sits bones up towards the ceiling. And then from here, let's just gently drop your left heel down. Right knee stays bent, left heel drops. Creating more sensation for the left leg. Think of sending your right hip slightly back to keep the hip squared. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Let's switch the bend now. Bend your left knee. You drop your right heel down. And then maybe just kind of notice how your hips have shifted. It might mean that you kind of pull your left hip back a little more length on the left side body. And then with your exhale, just feel your right heel drop down. All right, let's bend back into the right knee. You'll come up, go ahead and lift your belly up, bend your knees once more, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that shape one more. Lift up onto your toes, bend your knees so your bellies are right over your thighs. Drop the heels down. Super nice, y'all. From here, gaze forward towards your fingertips and start to tiptoe to the top of your mat. We find a rag doll. Step your feet wide. Drop your head down. Option to hug opposite elbows. Shake your head, nod your head. Sway to the right pinky toe. Sway over to the left. This moment, really let your shoulders drop down towards your ears. Gen- Notice what muscles you activated right away when you stood up. Sometimes we have our default. Yeah. And then we're going to come back to the core as we focus here. Pull your rib cage down. Let's all together sweep your arms up. So keeping the rib cage pulled down, sweep your hands up. Notice that core activation. Breathe in here. Exhale, forward fold. Hands through heart center. You hinge at your hips and bend your knees as much as you need. Make it really accessible as we start to come in more into our folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your hands up to your shin or thighs. And a little higher is even really nice. Good. Gaze over the top edge of your mat. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. We rise up to mountain. We'll do it with arms extended overhead. Engage at your core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Send your tailbone back. Just press the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Roll it up to stand. Circle your arms up. Hug your navel in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice capital L shape in your body. Exhale, forward fold. All right, we add on from here, team. Inhale, mountain pose to start. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, mountain. Sweep your hands back up. Exhale, back bend. A little cactus in the arms as you elevate your heart. Think of pulling your elbow points behind you. Shift a little more weight into your heels. Inhale, mountain. Sweep the hands back up. Restack your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Yes. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands back up to your shin or thighs as you lift. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms down. Left leg will step back. So the right foot stays in front. And then let your back leg land down. And then go ahead and find some shifts forward and back. You can tent up your fingertips by your side, just finding some mobility, the right leg. And then make your last shift. We'll land here. Again, just go ahead and find a little bit of a lean forward. Hands can stay in front of you. If you have props, you can plant them here. Otherwise, your back shin is landed, heart is lifted. And then with your left palm, go ahead and plant it down right next to the right foot. An option to place a little book or block under here to help support you. And right away, pull your rib cage down as you knit in at your center, and then expand your right hand up. Find that twist. Yeah. Yeah. And it's coming back to that motion. The more that you can knit your rib cage down, see how much space you can make on the right side body. You might notice that maybe your right hip draws back a little bit. Maybe you have a little more space to reach your top arm behind you. Breathe here. All right, take a breath in. Exhale, bring your palm back down towards the mat. Yeah, curl your back toes under. We'll step back for a high plank. Yeah, just hold here for 3. Just take a moment to level your hips in line with your shoulders and ankles. In 2, and then we drop knee, lower down to your chest and chin. Set up for baby cobra. Press your toenails down, hands on the outside of your rib cage. Inhale, peel your chest up. Good. Press your toenails down. Roll the outer hips down. Then lift up through your chest. Continue to gaze down at your mat to keep a long neck. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Press up to the tabletop position on your knees. Curl your toes under, downward dog. Breathe in, breathe out. From here, lift your left leg high. Kick through your left heel. Exhale, low lunge. Step between your hands. Take a moment to land your foot and go ahead and bring your back leg down. And then just find some shifts forward and back, just as we did on the other side, as you find movement on to this hip. And then maybe you can slide further back. Just kind of take what you need. Notice how this side feels. And then on your next one, go ahead and land your foot down. Take a moment to set up here, square off the hips so they're pointed forward. And your right palm will land and connect right next to the left foot. Hug your rib cage and sternum down, and then reach your left hand high. And notice how, as you pull your bottom rib cage down, you can also drop your left hip further behind you. And notice the length on this left side. Take a breath in, maybe send your left hand behind you. Exhale, bring your palm down towards the mat. All right, curl your back toes under. Let's gaze forward and then step to the top of your mat in your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to your shin or thighs. Pause. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Find your mountain pose. Restack the spine, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. We reset here. Inhale, exhale. All right, circle your arms up, mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pause and breathe here. This time your right leg will step back for your low lunge. Your left leg still stays in the front. And then for this one, this time, let's keep the back toes lifted. No, you can drop down to your bottom shin if that feels more supportive, but we'll start to level up here. If you're comfortable, the back toes will stay curled under. And then your right palm plants down. And then set up your center. Pull the bottom rib cage down. Inhale, left hand sweeps up. Notice the length on the side. Maybe you can circle your wrists. Just find relaxation in the wrists. And then as you reach up, maybe send your left shoulder further behind you. Yeah. Breathe in. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Set back to your high plank. Take a moment to set up. And then when you're ready, knee, chest, chin, you lower down onto the mat. Set up for your cobra. Inhale, baby cobra. Breathe here. Press through your pinky toenails. Squeeze your shoulder blades together so the tops of your shoulders can lift up. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Press up to your tabletop position. Exhale, downward facing dog. A round of breath here. When you're ready, let's lift the right leg high. Exhale, step your foot through to the top of your mat. All right. And then we stay lifted here on the low lunge. Option to drop your back shin down for additional support. For this, we're going to add in that layer of standing the back toes up. All right. Left palm grounds down. Inhale, sweep your right hand high. Find that open towards the front leg. Good. And then pull your sternum down. Good. Think of as you knit your rib cage down, see how much space you can even rotate towards the back, gazing either at the ceiling behind you or the wall behind you. Then send the back of your top hand further away from you. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Let's all together gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Roll it up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we build on in a different series. Inhale, start with your chair pose. You send your booty back and extend your arms forward. I know this can be a lot on the shoulders, so you can also bring your hands to heart here. The focus will be more in the legs. Draw your shins back. So you want to stack your knees right over your ankles. It might feel quite impossible, but just imagine that's the sensation you want to create. Stay light in the toes. Drop your booty down. Lift your heart. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. And then with your right leg, step it behind you so that we open up for on the towards the long edge of your mat. Let's turn the heels in, toes out. Sweep your hands up. Exhale for your horse squat. Yeah, now we open up through your inner thighs. You've been doing a lot of holds with both legs touching. Now we open and send your knees behind you. Let's float that two more times. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, hands to heart, sit low. Inhale, get big. Exhale, get low. All right, inhale, star pose. From here, tee out your arms, and then you're going to turn your back toes so it points towards the long edge of your mat. And then your left toes points towards the front. Find your warrior two. Bend into the front leg. And then pull your right rib cage further behind you to help center yourself right over your hips. Reach to your left fingertips. Reach to your right. Send your front knee further behind you to open up through your hips. Inhale. Exhale. All right, team, from here, inhale, straighten through your front leg. We've been in a lot of side body work. So from here, we work into triangle pose. Send your hips all the way back first. And then with that space, start to tick-tock your torso forward. And then I'll keep a soft bend in your front knee. And then your hands can here be at 12 and 6 o'clock in the hand. Gaze down or gaze up, whichever is more comfortable for your neck. Press your feet away like you want to split your mat apart, but then hug your inner thighs together so you lift up through your core. And then come back to that sensation. Hug your rib cage in, and then pull your bottom rib cage up to find a twist. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. Bend into your left knee, restack your torso. Breathe here, and then rotate your front palm up. Find your reverse warrior. Lift up and back here. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. All right, send your gaze forward. And then with your back leg, we're going to step it all the way to the top for mountain pose. As you're ready, step it all the way to the front. Sweep your hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, mountain pose. Sweep your hands up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, inhale, chair pose. Send your booty back. All right, think shins. I'm going to rotate to the other side as we set up, but you stay in your chair pose. Good. Think of pulling your shins back and how low can you send your tailbone towards your mat. Maybe hands to heart or and arms extended. And if arms are extended, rotate the palms up. And you lift your biceps a little closer towards your ears. Breathe in. Sit a little lower on this exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart. Press yourself up to stand. All right. Now with your legs, go ahead and step it back. And send left toes step back. And we'll find your star pose. Yeah. Left leg will have step back. All right. Star pose, nice and big. Exhale, find your horse squat. All right, this time let's stay low. Know that you can stand up. We're just going to stay low here. Take your hands to your inner thighs, lift up through your chest, and then twist towards the back leg, one side. Good. It doesn't have to be deep, just find a little twist over your shoulder. Come back to center, and then we twist to side two. Come back to center one more time, just for a good measure. And because it feels really nice when you add in these twists, especially for your inner thighs. Come back to center, and then last time toward the other side. All right, start to come back to center. Let's rise up to your star pose. Now your left toes will point toward the long edge of your mat. Right toes point to the front. Warrior two, bend into your front knee. And once you have your stance, really press into the pinky edges of your foot. And relax your toes down. Pull your left rib cage behind you to stack your shoulders right over your hips. Reach to your fingertips so they're really nice and active. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, start to straighten through your front leg. Send your hips further back, back, back. triangle pose. Start to tick-tock your torso forward. Keep the soft bend in the front knee. And again, come back to that sensation in the feet. Like you want to press your heels apart, but your inner thighs hug in. Now let's invite in our torso. You pull your bottom rib cage down, and then your right rib cage will rotate upward. Notice the twists that you can make here. Be with this side for another round of breath. Gently bend into your front knee, warrior two. Rotate your right palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Breathe here. Reach up to your right side. Lean back as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Parallel your arms once more. All right, set it up. Back leg. Get ready to step forward. When you're ready, mountain pose at the front. Zip your legs together, inner thighs, spin to the back. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Let this be your nice little reset. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, last round of pose here. We're gonna find chair pose. Meet in your chair pose. Okay, you can hold wherever. I'll rotate towards you so we can look at each other. From here, draw your hands to heart, lift up through your chest. We'll find the first twist over to the right. Okay. Think of lifting through your chest, send your booty back to start. And again, hug your rib cage in and then start to rotate over to the right side. Maybe your elbow taps the outside of the right leg. Option to keep it more seated, and you can fly your arms open for a chair twist. So we're looking into a chair twist on your right side. And if your elbows touch, I want you to think about checking in towards your knees, that they're both closely aligned with each other. It doesn't have to be perfect. But then your left hip will slightly drop down. And then maybe you guide your arm further down the right thigh. Option to expand the arms. We'll just stay here, working into the twist that we worked a lot with our torso. Breathe in, exhale, we fold. And just go take your feet a little wider, maybe shake or nod your head. We have one more side and then we'll be all on our backs. All right, team, let's come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, chair pose. Come back into your seat. Right away, draw your hands to heart. Now we twist over to side to the left leg. Yeah, take a moment. Know that first option is just seated nice and tall, and you can reach your arms away from you. Option to lower a little closer so your elbows taps the outside of the thigh. In any variation, just peek down at your knees so they're closely aligned with one another. And then if you're with your palms connected, know that your hip will slightly drop down. Yeah. Your right hip will drop down. Maybe you walk your elbow further down the left leg. Wherever you are, another round of breath. Inhale, forward fold as you exhale. Go ahead and just kind of pedal out your legs as you shake it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. If you're not already rotated towards the short edge of your mat, just slowly lower down and come all the way onto your back. We'll do some 2 rounds of bridge pose just to reset and open up our rib cage. Now we've done a lot of knitting in. Now let's find a nice stretch and we'll expand. All right, ground down through your heels to start. Walk them in close towards your glute. And then rotate your palms up by your side. When you're ready, inhale, lift your hips, bridge pose. Ensure all 10 toes are pointed forward and your inner thighs gently hug in towards one another. Send your pelvis higher. Relax your chin down. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower on down. We'll take a fallen bridge. Walk your feet to the long edges of your mat and your knees will knock in to touch. Press here. Place your right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. We'll do bridge round two, this time with an optional bind. Walk your feet back in to about hip width distance apart. Hands will rotate up by your side, so we're using more of our heels than our hand. When you're ready, lift your hips. Know that you can stay here, continue in this bridge pose, or option to snuggle your shoulders further underneath, walk them closer towards your midline, and then interlace your hands at your lower back. And then once you do, can you dig your pinky fingers down? Feel the tops of your shoulder blades roll back and down towards the mat. Breathe in, stay for your exhale. All right, gently release the bind, lower down onto your mat. This time we'll take butterfly legs. Bring your soles of your feet to touch, and then place your hands on your hip creases. Close your knees together and hug your knees into your chest, making movements to massage out your lower back. And then from here, we'll move into a supine figure four. Let's plant your feet down first, and then we'll cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Ensure your toes are flexed, and you can stay here. Maybe use your left hand to open your knee further away from you. Option to interlace your hands underneath the right leg, and then pull the legs closer in towards your chest. If you do so, continue to still press the left knee away from you. All right, gently place the right foot down, then the left foot. And then let's switch it out over here. Right ankle over the left thigh now. And stay here grounded first. Just really set it up nice and strong. Flex your right toes and then send your right knee away from you. You can stay here. Option to interlace your hands underneath the left leg. Whichever variation you've chosen, encourage your right knee away from you. Gently place your left foot down, then your right foot down. And just as the beginning, walk your feet to the long edges of your mat to sway your shins side to side, release in the hips. Gather your legs back at your heart center, and then take a few rock and rolls or just press yourself up to a seat. And then actually we'll flip your legs over, meet on your belly. We did some cobras at the beginning. This time we'll do 3 rounds of rolling cobra. So walk your hands to the outside of your rib cage, press your toenails down. And we've done a lot of back strengthening work and kind of keeping that sensation of knitting your rib cage in. We're going to use our back muscles to help us find 3 rolling cobras. All right. I'll cue us in. Let's start with an exhale. Inhale, cobra round 1. Good. Press your toenails down, lift up through your heart. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Cobra round 2. Maybe you get a little lighter in your palms here, or energetically slide them back, kind of draw your elbows behind you to open up more across your collarbones. Exhale, forehead to the mat. All right, round 3. Lift a little higher, press heavier into the toenails. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Relax your forehead down. Go and walk your forearms in front of you, and then press yourself up to a Sphinx pose. Feet will come about hip width distance apart this time. And then elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Gaze at the top edge of your mat. Drop your hip points down. And then pull your elbows back as you lift your heart forward. We continue to open, the front of our body here. Check in that the shoulders are soft and away from the ears. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly lower on down. Yeah. All right, press yourself up to a seat. Send your legs out in front of you. And let's keep the right leg extended. We'll pull the left foot in. Yeah. Take a moment to square your shoulders towards the right leg. Yeah. Extend your arms up here and then fold over your leg. Just let hands land wherever is comfortable. And then check in with your sits bone. Usually means the right one needs to ground down just a bit. Lift up through your heart, like pull them towards your toes. Maybe you soften your right knee, maybe you straighten a little bit. Two more breaths here. Start to roll it up. And then let's switch out the leg. Send your left leg out long this time. Take a moment to ground down through your sits bones and then rotate your shoulders over to the extended leg. Inhale to lift your arms up. Exhale, fold. Lift your heart up towards your toes, like pull them forward. Maybe you drop your left shoulder a little bit or your right shoulder, whichever helps you stay really squared over the extended leg. And then with the next two exhales, just give into the space. All right, start to walk your hands back to sit up nice and tall. Then send both legs out in front of you. Seated forward fold. Just shake out the legs if you need. And then just go ahead and extend your arms up. Pull your toes in towards your nose. As you exhale, fold forward. And just take a moment, keep really a lot of length through your spine, and maybe hands are closer to your hips. You can stay here, continue to release into your sits bones, or you can bend through your knees and then maybe start to bring your belly a little closer to your thighs. You should feel a little bit more in your lower back here. If you're ready to return sensation more to the hamstring, maybe you straighten your legs. Breathe. Start to come back up to a seat, hug your knees in. Now we'll be on our back for the rest of class. Come on all the way down, hug your knees in. Let's start with the happy baby. Pull your knees into your armpits and you can grab for the bottom of your feet or your inner thighs. Go ahead and sway side to side. Maybe we flutter our lips here. Inhale, flutter your lips on the exhale. If you're holding onto your legs, maybe drop over to the right knee, extend the left leg long, little stretch, roll out the left ankle, and then come back to center. Left knee or left elbow drops. Extend the right leg. Yeah, just take some movement here. Excellent. When you're ready, let's come to center. Gather everything in towards your midlines. Hug your knees in, curl your toes, bring your forehead up to your knees. Squeeze your legs into your chest. Breathe in. Pause. Take another sip of air in. And then exhale, land on your mat. Extend your legs out nice and long. Let your toes splay out to the side. Rotate your palms up by your side. Perhaps you wiggle your shoulders underneath your heart space as a reminder to keep it open. Blink your eyes closed. Relax your jaw. Soften your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Feel the support of your mat. Soften your body into your mat. Give into the sensation that yourself be held here. I'll call you out when it is time. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold. Open mouth, exhale. Breathe in. Your exhale. And with each wave of your breath, awaken whatever feels natural. Start at your fingers or your toes. Maybe you sway your chin side to side. Let your movements get bigger, eventually taking it to a long body stretch. Fingers and toes reach away from one another. And hug your knees into your chest. Roll over into a side, whichever side in the fetal position. And then mark a new beginning. And then gently press yourself up into an easy seat. Just sit here for a moment. Notice the space you made. Be with the after effects of Shavasana. Start to bring your hands towards heart center. We'll do a shared breath together. Inhale to start. Open mouth, exhale. This time, lift your thumbs up to the space between your brows. Acknowledge your third eye center and seat of intuition. And let's all together bow forward in honor of yourself, in honor of your practice, and in honor of our practice together. Thank you for showing up. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me this Thursday morning, midday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday and take care. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you, everyone here.